चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So wonderful. Thank you all for joining today. Thank you Nitya Mataji for joining. We were discussing about verse 1. I'll ask them to reduce the volume. So, volume को कम करो, volume को कम करो। Beautiful song. What is that? Beautiful song. Yeah, it's like very calm. Come on Tuesday. It'll be really nice experience for you all, because drama is one of the most important part of for this, because we learn a lot of things. Even when we discuss Bhagavad Gita, what we remember are the stories actually. What was covered there. So it just starts at 8 and ends at 9 or something. This will start at 7:30. 7:30 is the puja. 7 o'clock will be the puja. Before that will be Abhishek, which is starting around 6:30. So Abhishek is basically bathing the Lord. That's a very rare opportunity. And then after that there'll be Aarti. And then after that, please come in, bro. Wonderful. That's what I was thinking. Srikan Prabhu is not here. We'll just start. So thank you. You can sit this way, no problem. So I was just mentioning about Tuesday is a special festival. That's why you see all that music and this. We are preparing for the drama. So Tuesday is Advaita Acharya's appearance, who is actually Mahavishnu himself. We were talking about this personality on the white dress. So he is actually Mahavishnu who maintains all of us, to be honest. That's why I say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh when we talk about three Dev. So this is Mahavishnu actually. So 7 to 7:30 is the Aarti, and 7:30 is the drama, which goes till half an hour. And then after that is the Katha, which is basically specifically talking about why he appeared and what is his significance in our life. So that's what we discuss. So for verse 1, which we discussed certain aspect of it, now Dhritarashtra is asking, and we talked about I, me, and mine mentality. Dhritarashtra is saying, "Where is my sons doing and Pandu's sons are doing?" So there is segregation here. This is mine. This is not mine. So he was drawing the boundary there, and then he's saying Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. So he understand Kurukshetra is a Dharma Kshetra. You understand wherever is dharma, like you see a lot of times, like I used to do guest reception back in Pune, which is whoever comes to visit the temple, I'll go ask them how's your experience, what do you like. One thing which was consistently told by everyone, whenever we come to the temple we feel very peaceful. Whatever is going on in our life, a lot of times people come to the temple when they have a lot of difficulties, they realize I cannot solve these problems, so they come to God. And this was a consistent thing. Why? Because God is being worshipped there, and like you say, the peaceful music, it's the mantras going on which is glorifying the Lord. So the purpose of Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra is because the Lord is being glorified and Lord is being personally worshipped. So actually, if you know about Parshuram, so Parshuram, after killing 11 generations, 21 generation of all the Kshatriyas, then he was told, "Are you are Brahmana, why you are doing that?" And actually, Parshuram is the incarnation of Lord himself. 10 incarnation, if you see, Parshuram is one of them. So he was told, "Are what are you doing? So what should I do now? So you should do a tapasya now." So he comes to Kurukshetra and performs austerity. That's why that place is a pilgrimage. That's why Kurukshetra is considered to be the highest place in that way, because It's a pure dharma kshetra. A lot of people, it's close to Delhi. So that's another reason. So Dhritarashtra, though he is blind, but he has all the knowledge. Earlier times, it doesn't feel like, Arey, it's if I am blind, which means I don't know, that doesn't work that way. So he knew it. And he was worried that this may influence Pandavas because they are virtuous. So he knows it, that this thing. But we were talking about the power of attachment. He can't understand what should be done. So he is asking that question in terms of what is happening now. Sanjay, can you tell me, is it something going to happen because seeing that army? So that's where the verse 1 ends, right? So we will go to verse 2. So if I go back to Bhagavad Gita and we'll go to verse 2 and we will recite again two slokas together. I'm going to share this online as well so that who is attending online, they can see that as well. Wonderful. So this is verse 2. And then the verse 2 is said, Sanjaya Vacha, please follow along. Sanjaya Vacha, thank you. Drishtva tu Pandavanekam Vryudam, sorry, Duryodanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. So Dhritarashtra in the first verse asked the question to Sanjaya, and we briefly covered who is Sanjaya. Sanjaya is a disciple of Vyasadeva. And then on the first day, actually, I'll cover this aspect. We talked about who is Vyasadeva. We covered in first session, which is what is his person. So he is incarnation of Lord Himself, and he wrote those four Vedas, right? And then if we finish Bhagavad Gita, then we'll come to Srimad Bhagavatam also one day, and then there we'll discuss what is the glorification of Vyasadeva. So whenever any spiritual discourse is given, it's been given by glorifying Vyasadeva. That's the first thing which happens in any spiritual discourse. First time is because he gave us this knowledge, so he is glorified first. So that's why you see a lot of time when we start, we say it in Bhagavad, we should actually do in Bhagavad Gita, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You hear that mantra very often. It's glorifying Vyasadeva because he wrote scriptures and because of which we are being enlightened. So Sanjaya is the disciple of Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva was so pleased with Sanjaya, he gave him a boon that you will be able to see everything. And that's how Sanjaya is answering now because he is able to visualize and he is playing a role of communicating to Dhritarashtra, right? So Sanjaya is saying, can someone read the translation?
Sure. Sanjay said, okay. After looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
Wonderful. So little bit more context here. Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya, they both are fighting on Kaurava side, and Dronacharya is their guru. He taught them all army weapons, how to use that. So now Duryodhana is going to Dronacharya. That's what Sanjaya is mentioning. Prabhupada is writing in the purport that Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. Now, this is very interesting. Why do we say that? When Krishna came as a messenger to Dhritarashtra, he said, Arey, you just give them 5 villages because they are Kshatriya, they are supposed to rule. Why don't you give them just 5 villages and you keep the Hastinapur, you keep the kingdom? And Duryodhana said, I will not give them a place even to put the needle. And you know what Duryodhana did? This is not mentioned there, but what Duryodhana did, he called all his soldiers, why don't you just grab Krishna? And then you put him in the prison. And at that time, this is the first time Krishna showed the universal form. And second time will happen in chapter 10, where we will read about. That's the first time. So when Krishna showed his universal form is equivalent to millions of sun rising at the same time. Like even in winter season when we see sun, oh, beautiful, but you can't look at the sun with your naked eyes because you can't see anything after seeing the sun, right? For a few minutes actually. So imagine millions of sun rising at the same time, and that's like in one of the court, not that outside in the sky, and nobody could see anything except you. And actually Dhritarashtra could see he is Krishna. That's the power. So imagine Dhritarashtra know this, or he is a supreme personality of Godhead. But the power of attachment is so strong. This is such a strong subject to meditate on. He couldn't realize, Are, what is my son doing, man? Stop it. And Vidura actually told him, Vidura, and if you remember Mahabharat, he is the brother of Dhritarashtra. How he was born? He was born from the maid servant. But, and we covered it. Vidura is actually Yamaraj. Yamaraj was cursed to take a birth on an earthly planet, and he was born in this family. But Vidura, you know what is the power of Yamaraj? We are all subjugated to him if we are not practicing spiritual life that way. And he is telling Dhritarashtra, "Arey, what are you doing? Do something about your son. He's going to be the cause of the whole dynasty destruction." And then Duryodhana threw him out. He said, "Get out from here." And Vidura goes to pilgrimage. And then what happens? We'll read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, where what all places um, Vidura goes. We'll talk about that in Srimad Bhagavatam. But coming back to this point, so he is spiritually vision is not there, not just the material vision, right? Like I was thinking about this beautiful this thing which I was hearing. So we do preaching, like this is the purpose of preaching, giving Krishna to others. That's we were talking about in the second session. It's just about giving, not taking. Whatever we have received, we want to give back. So um my spiritual master, he is actually he's born in Chicago. He's a American. He has a journey home book you should read. He's a wide body, but how at the age of 18 he leaves, he just goes for a Europe trip, and he had a calling of God. I never understood that stuff, but I was just amazed. So he wrote his whole biography, how he was meditating. He wanted to know the truth. What is the purpose of life? And he had an inner voice, you go to India. So he actually went to India, and then he was connected to Srila Prabhupada. That's how he joined this. But when he came here, there is a beautiful temple in New Vrindavan in West Virginia. If you search on the map, very beautiful on the mountains. In summer, if you have time, just book it. Very beautiful place. So he was staying there, and he used to preach. So he used to preach in university. So one time, this is a very prominent story I wanted to share. They approached one of the university in Virginia, West Virginia, and then they approached saying that we want to speak about religiosity, we want to speak about spirituality. So all the teachers or whoever was there, the lecturer, they said, "Oh, you have to take the permission from our dean, who's actually the dean of religiosity. So you have to take a permission from him, you have to take an approval, then you can do it. We all want to hear from you, but we can't do because he's the main guy." So they approached this person, and this person is very highly qualified. He did PhD in Bhagavad Gita and all the religious scriptures. And when he goes and give a class or he speaks about, thousands of people come to hear him. So he's a very influencing person. So now he's a dean. So they go to dean. We want to speak about this, and they give their background. We preach about Krishna consciousness. So this lecturer or the dean, he says, your God is, I don't consider him as God. He's dancing with other girls and all that stuff. I don't consider him God. But I want to hear you. But right now I have to go. Let's set up a time some other time. So they set up a time on a particular day, and my spiritual master goes with other people to this dean. So this guy is is just lying in his this thing in his office and all that stuff with the sun lamp. And he started speaking, "Let's discuss." My spiritual master, "You wear something and talk about this is spirituality." So anyway, so they start discussing, and this person has a lot of philosophy discussion, and finally lot of time passed, and he said, "You know what, I'll tell you a fact. I don't believe in God." Now my spiritual master, "How come you say that? You have done PhD in Bhagavad Gita, you understood all this religious scriptures, and then you're preaching about God consciousness, you're running a whole religious department, you don't believe in God. Where did you read it?" That He said, "I'll be very honest, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God." "Then why are you playing this role?" Of course, he didn't ask him. So he said, "Anyhow, I don't believe in God. It doesn't make a difference to me. So why don't you come and preach?" But why am I bringing this story in this context is that unless a person has a spiritual vision, all this remain a philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is not a philosophical book. Bhagavad Gita is a manual of life. For an example, if I get a cancer and someone says, Oh, you read this book, this is the philosophy, this will cure you. Are philosophy will not cure me, I need a medicine, right? I have a severe disease. So when we talk about manual of life, it is talking about the story of life and death. I have to know what am I doing. Like for an example, we talk about sin, and then we talk about piety. Now question is that we all know about sin and piety, but what is the definition of piety? I was shocked, to be honest, when I was asked this question, because I knew it. Sin and piety, I'm supposed to be pious, I'm not supposed to do activities which are sinful. But what is the definition of piety? It's a difficult question to solve, because maybe I heard from someone I should do that, I should do charity, I should do this, I should not hurt anyone. Where is it? Where is the base? Where are you speaking from? There has to be someone say that, right? Not I decide. For an example, if you see these terrorists, they do all that stuff on the name of religion. You know this stuff? Why? They are strong religious people. They have faith on their whatever process they are following. But their process, whoever is saying, if you kill other people, then you will go to God. Now I'll tell you another story. It's a real story. You all know about Hitler. What he did, we all know about it. So Hitler, one of the executioner in his side, this is a real story, was connected to my spiritual master's friend. And this friend was actually massager, massage the body. So he went there. Masur, we call it as, right? Is that right? And so he went there to this executioner of Hitler, and he was massaging. And this massager asked him, what do you think about religion? And then he started speaking philosophy. Ari, you are very knowledgeable, you know about this. But according to me, only such kind of people should live, rest of the people have to die. And that's what we are doing. Killing people on the name of religion. Why? Philosophy is there, but what is missing here? Can you connect the dots what I'm talking about? Philosophy is there, but it is used for a wrong purpose. Ravana was a Brahmana. He had all the knowledge. But like I was speaking last time, everything in his kingdom was chori kamal. Everything he stole. Why? I have a knowledge. Realization is missing. That's why we are here. We are not here to study Bhagavad Gita. That's one aspect of it. Or read Bhagavad Gita. We are here to penetrate this knowledge and apply in our life. What the world need is not a philosophy, but world needs a character, a person who applied these teaching in his life and setting up an example for others to follow.
Absolutely.
That's what we are here. We are here to build our character. It is said, how many people remember after we die? That defines our journey in life. I may be remembered my children and family because they are close connected. But how about outside that one? What life am I living? What example am I setting? That actually showcases what am I. So this study of Bhagavad Gita should create a transformation in my heart. You see, butterfly. When the butterfly from a caterpillar, she becomes a butterfly. She goes through a big problem. If you've seen, you could see that a caterpillar has to go through so much suffering to become a beautiful butterfly and fly everywhere. You've seen butterfly, beautiful colors. And if you touch them, you even get that color actually. And their wings are so soft. You I when as a kid I just touched and I still remember. So she has to go through so much of transformation to become a beautiful butterfly. But have you ever seen a butterfly going back and becoming a caterpillar? You don't see that. You don't see that. Why? I'll tell another story. This is very important, and that's what we will connect this on. So there was a colony of water bug. In a beautiful pond, there was a colony of water bug. Once in a while, one bug will get out and will never come back. There was a pile of lily flowers and it will climb on that and will never come back. So everyone was puzzled. अरे ये लोग कोई तो जाता है बाहर, it never comes back. So they bring a meeting. So One guy is chosen as a leader. He says, everyone has to take a vow today. Whoever goes out, they have to come and tell us. They have to come and tell us what happened outside. Okay. Next day, whose turn comes? The president itself. So this bug climbs on this lily flowers, goes out, and now there is a beautiful thing happen. This water bug becomes a dragonfly. You know dragonfly on the water, and he starts flying over the pond. He's so happy. I got the wings. I can fly so high. So he flies. He's so happy. But then he realizes, oh, I made a vow. I have to tell my friends that what has happened to me because they should know I took a vow that I should go. So this bug tried to enter this, but this caterpillar, not caterpillar, dragonfly tried to enter the water, but he can't enter the water now because dragonfly cannot become a water bug. He has transformed. What is the difference between change and transformation? Anybody? Change and transformation. What's the difference? If you know, I'm just trying.
Change can be reversible.
Ah, exactly. Thank you, Prabhu. Change is reversible. I take a change that new year, I'm going to jog every day for 1 hour, I'm going to do exercise. It may start, you do it for a 1 month, and then I'm not talking about you, but overall, then you forget this is change. Transformation means I can't go back to my previous state. So change is reversible, but the transformation is not reversible. Caterpillar can become a butterfly, but butterfly can, right, cannot become a again the caterpillar. So this dragonfly, Arey, I can't enter. So at the time he had few realization which I want to talk about. First realization he had, now I have transformed, not changed. Now I have transformed to become a dragonfly. Why do I want to go back to the previous state? Because I am a dragonfly. I can yeah, thank you, bro. If some outside has, I don't know. You might miss it. Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. So why do I want to become a water bug? I have got a better position. Like for an example, you are at a very high position now, and then someone say, "Can you come and join as a junior developer?" You will say, "Why would I do that? Because I have grown up. I don't want to go back to my previous state because transformation has happened here." So now these things, I don't want to go back. That's the first realization. Because you've got so much sublime stuff now, you can fly now. Why do I want to go to the previous state? Right? Like if you see the second realization which this dragonfly had, so far with me. Second realization the dragonfly has, even if I go back, those people will not realize me because I have transformed now. You see, friends of what was the name of Gandhiji? Karamchand? Ha. His friends were different and Gandhiji's friends were different. Gandhiji will not be recognized in his previous friend circle because now he is not the same person. He has changed. He is transformed. So those friends you will not be able to connect. Even if I go back, a lot of times it happens. Like at least in my life, I'll share. Hey, you have changed, man. You are not the same person we used to hang around. Like when I go back to my hometown and meet my friends, because I have changed. I have transformed. I have a different identity now. We've changed, right? So Dragonfly understood. Second realization is, even if I go back, these guys will not be able to recognize me. That's the second realization. Third realization he had, which is very beautiful. I can't go back, but if I fly like that one day, they will see me and they will feel like I want to be like this person who has transformed, has become a better person. I want to be like that person. This is a very important point about transformation. When we are evolved, when we become a better person, people want to take an example from us that where should I want to move forward. हाँ मैं इधर रख देता हूँ थैंक यू
उन्नीस।
इधर डालेगा
हाँ और घुमा लो वो नीचे से।
ओके थैंक यू Thank you. I never knew that. Thank you. I'll come, okay? He's my son. Ah, okay, okay. Now, when they will see me, they will feel, I want to be like that. So let me be an example for others to follow. And that's what I was talking about, a character, a transformed person. When we study Bhagavad Gita, it should change our life. It should transform us. It should make us a better person. Understand what am I doing in my life and what has to be done. Any questions or comments so far? Good? Okay, beautiful. So, coming back to this point, which is Dhritarashtra is spiritually also blind, and he is asking, what is happening here? And he was thinking about maybe because Pandavas will bow down, and seeing that Dhritarashtra, he was thinking about because Kaurava's army is so big. So maybe they are afraid, and I want to know about what is Duryodhana doing here because he is just approaching his guru, right? And now we will see Duryodhana is considered to be the hero for diplomats. So whoever wants to learn politics, Duryodhana is considered to be the greatest politic leader. So we will just read about that. So text 3 we'll read together. Pashyatam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyuddham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Anybody can read the translation? Please.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Draupadi.
Thank you, bro. Drupada. So now we see this seems to be a very straight line, but actually this is kind of criticizing his guru. What is Duryodhana doing? He is criticizing his guru Dronacharya. What is he saying? That you look at the great army of sons of Pandu. He's not saying my brothers. Sons of Pandu, far away distant. Okay, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple. So you are on my side, but what kind of welfare you have done? You have trained your disciple in such a way. Now that guy is leading on the other side. So let me give you a little context here. What happens? So Dronacharya and Drupad. Who is Drupad? Drupad is actually the father of Draupadi. That's how she got the name Draupadi. So they were studying in the same school in Gurukul, and they were become so great friend. One day Drupad told Dronacharya that whatever I have is yours. So great. So this was childish, whatever was going on in the Gurukul. After Gurukul, they grow. And Dronacharya, of course, became a Brahmana. He was a Brahmana. And then Drupad became a great king. So he was running a whole kingdom, right? And what was the situation of Dronacharya? He was so poor, so poor. Sometimes his wife would give the child, Ashwadama, rice water which seems like milk because the color is same, because she couldn't afford milk, so she would give that to the child thinking that this is milk. Make him. So one day she told, one your friend Drupad told you that his kingdom is as good as yours. Why don't you go and ask him some help? So Dronacharya goes to Drupad, and Drupad welcomes him very nicely and all that stuff. Then Dronacharya reminds him about this line. Hey, when we were in the Gurukul, you told that we will whatever is mine is yours, which means half of the kingdom should be mine, but I'm not asking anything, but just help me. And Drupad became very angry. He said, who are you, man? That was childish whenever we were in Gurukul. Not that I never expected you will come to me and then ask me something like that. You get lost from here. So he removed him. Dronacharya, get out from him. And Dronacharya felt really bad. So after training Pandavas and Kauravas, they asked them, you give me Guru Dakshina. So what do I do? So you fight with Draupad, defeat him, and bring him next to me. But this is Guru Dakshina from you, not from Hastinapur. So first Kauravas went, all 100 Kauravas, and they took the whole army of Hastinapur. And interestingly, they got defeated by Drupad. And now Pandava's turn came. Pandava said, we cannot take the Sena, we cannot take the army because that's from Hastinapur. You are asking us the Guru Dakshina, so we should be contributing. So five Pandavas go, defeat Drupad, and bring him to the feet of Dronacharya. And Dronacharya says, I came first to ask you half of the kingdom because you promised. You did not give me half of the kingdom. So I should take the half of the kingdom and I give you half of the kingdom. But for a Brahmana, the biggest asset is cow. So I leave you, I'll just take a cow from you. But not in a humble way. He like because he's dealing with Kshatriya. So I'm going to take the cow from you. So now Drupad got rejected. So he wanted to defeat Dronacharya. So he performed an austerity, he performed the yajna. And from that yajna, his son was born. And his son, what was his vow? Saying that my son will be born and he should kill Dronacharya. So that person is now on the opposite side. And now coming back to this point, because he's saying your disciple, right? Disciple means Dronacharya has to be guru. So one day, son of Drupad approached Dronacharya. Please train me. See, this is such a beautiful aspect of our culture. Though Dronacharya knew everything that this is Drupad's son, my enemy's son, and he is born to kill me. But Dronacharya gave him whole knowledge of this army, how to fight and all that stuff. Culture, rich culture. So now what is Duryodhana saying? Coming back to this verse, we read the translation. He is trying to actually put him down. Like, don't you have a brain? You train the guy who is just fighting like opposite you now. Why did you do like that? So he's trying to criticize him. That's how it is happening. So we'll read the purport. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya. The great Brahmana commander in chief. He was a commander in chief, so he's not in an ordinary position. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupad, a father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupad performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction to have a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all the military secrets when the son of Drupad, Drishtadyumna was the name, was entrusted to him for a military education. We just discussed that. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for the military phenolics. After having learned the art of Dronacharya, Duryodhan pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. I told you he's a very great diplomat, a great politician. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna especially was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would not lead to defeat. Like I was mentioning about before the war starts, Yudhishthira Maharaj goes there, and then everybody is thinking, "Kya hone wala hai? What is going to happen? Is he going to just hand over the kingdom to Duryodhana and think that अरे लड़ाई नहीं करना है हमको?" Because that's how Yudhishthira's culture is. He is not interested to fight. He is okay. I'm like, you take it. But other four Pandavas, no, we have to fight. So when Yudhishthira goes there, so everyone is thinking like that, and Yudhishthira goes and offer his pranam to actually who? First Bhishma Dev, and then to Dronacharya. What do they offer him? Vijayi Bhava. So see, when you have fame, when you have money, you may have people working for you, and it may feel like, oh, look at me, they are appreciating me. But why they are with you? Only because of money. But when we have a culture, when we give love, people are willing to do everything for you. I'll tell you another story from, because we talked about Rama and we talked about three, Kishkinda, and then Ayodhya, and we talked about the third one is Lanka. Do you remember the analogy I gave? What are these three represents? Last week, you remember? Try your luck.
Sanskriti,
What is Sanskriti? Ayodhya.
Ayodhya.
What is that? What is the other one?
Prakriti.
Vikriti. Lanka is Vikriti and Prakriti. And we talked about what is the difference. Sanskriti is values. Vikriti means money, everything. I hook or crook, I want to get this. That's Vikriti. Prakriti is sometimes going good, sometimes bad, right? So what had happened is this Lord Ram's army is very small, monkeys. They don't have any sophisticated weapons, but this guy, very similar analogy you can drive from that. This guy is extremely powerful, extremely powerful. First and foremost thing, where is Lanka? Across the ocean. So anyone has to come. This is Lanka. Around Lanka, everything is ocean. So someone has to come there. And by the time you come, these guys will defeat you because you are coming through the water, right? It's not going to be easy that way. So what is happening is, whoever is being killed in Ravana's army, what he would do is that all my dead soldiers, they should be pushed into the ocean. Why? Because opposite army will gain confidence if they know how many people we killed on the other side. So I don't never want to let them know how many people are dead on my side. So just throw them in the ocean. On Lord Ram said, whichever Vanara dies, I will cremate him with my hand. Lord Ram, Supreme Personality of Godhead. मैं उनको उनका लास्ट राइट मैं परफॉर्म करूंगा. That's what Lord Ram. Now, if you remember when Lakshman was attacked by Indrajit, so Hanumanji went to get that Sanjeevani. And what was the power of Sanjeevani booty? Whoever is a dead person, that they'll become alive. So now what is happening is, when he brings the Jadi booty, all the armies of Lord Ram, they became alive by just smelling Sanjeevani. But because Ravana threw them in the ocean, they were not there on the earth, right? They could not be alive. So the army of Lord Ram remained the same number after this incident which has happened, but Lord Ravana is a loser. This is the pravritti. So here is what a person who has not learned how to bring people along, just thinking about the resources. Like, to be honest, I worked in a lot of companies where people are called as resources. How many resources do I have? And when I joined this company, again, not trying to glorify, but I like this concept. We do not call people as resources, we call them team members. Why? Culture. When you consider people as resources, you behave like resources. Very interesting concept. Here in America, we have a lot of concept of use and throw, right? I was just hearing something and I want to share. In our times, when you have muffin is on the paper, right? So you have a sheet, and then on top of that you bake it. When we were child, we would eat the cake, and whatever is even the leftover in that this thing, we will take that also in the mind. Sorry, not trying to criticize, but today's kids, what they do is first remove the paper and throw it. Culture. It's a culture. It's a mindset. Think about that thing. It's a mindset which is being brought, use and throw. When we have a use and throw culture, when kids learn that, they will treat people as use and throw. And that's why we have so many old age homes where parents do so much for the children. When they reach to a certain stage where they need help, the kids drop them to old age home. Why is that? Even in India now, there is a culture of old age home. Never saw that before. Why? Use and throw culture. Use and throw culture. In Japan, even the food you get it like you press the button and it comes from the machine. What had happened? There is a big problem which happened in Japan. People would avoid dealing with other people. I don't want to deal with people. I want to deal with machines. Deal with machine, and they lose. There are a lot of relationship issues. Why there are relationship issues? Because we don't know how to deal with people. No criticism, but this is what AI is trying to bring in. I know I have to work on that, and I'm still producing things on AI. Why? Because I don't need people. I am machines. Earlier, people will have gas station. They will have people to actually fill your gas. This creates the economy, creates employment. What are we doing? We're trying to remove people. Let these robots do things, and our life will become like a robot when we have no idea how to deal with people. Now the same thing, you ask AI, you ask Copilot to right now I'm speaking, you never know AI will reach to that stage. You come in and someone will welcome you AI, and then you enter and someone is speaking the class, right?
Possible. Yeah.
Possible, definitely possible. Yeah, imagine what kind of culture does it create. That's why you see today's education is not about building character, it is about building competency. What are we being trained even in our school? When what are we being trained? Compete. Only one person can come number one. You have to compete with others. Hook or crook, you have to come number one. Competition, that's what our modern education creates. Like I remember when I went to the school, the first thing which would happen is we would assemble in the assembly area, we will offer prayers. You all remember?
Yeah.
There is no culture even India like that. Why? No God. Let's remove God from everything. No God. Pictures, everything, books, remove that. History, done. Is Hitler supposed to be known about? We have read in history. Why such a cruel person is being trained? We are being trained about the person. Most of us, at least I remember, I tell sometimes, I'm like a Hitler at home, and this is a horrible example to bring Hitler comparing that, but that's how we've been trained. This is what is bringing this atheistic culture in today's society. You see, people have time to go for movie, people have time to go for shopping, people have time for other things, but I don't have time for spirituality. Why? That's not my culture. I have to be competitive. Why are you wasting your 1 hour here, man? You can have $100 per hour, and if you multiply by 7 days, multiplied by 30, multiplied by 365, oh, you have that bank balance. Are you going to carry that with you? No. Where am I spending my time and energy? Where is my culture? What am I training my kids? Very, very important. What are they learning when they are growing up? And this is what this Bhagavad Gita is training in modern world. That's why I kept this topic of Bhagavad Gita application in today's modern world. What are we doing? And here you see Duryodhana is very intelligent. So am I here to become an intelligent person? Well, intelligent pays, so why not? But that should help me to also build a character. We don't want to become another Duryodhana. Like in the drama, like I was just mentioning about. So you ask, what do you want to become? Everyone wants to become Arjuna. Nobody wants to become Duryodhana. You see that? Nice. I'm not criticizing that. But actually, have we seen? Have I have qualities like Arjuna, even one? No. So this is very important to build a character. We also want to be an example. Like a lot of times I'm a parent and I have two small kids. I'm sure all of you would have. If I speak, oh, you do this. What do you do, Papa? They want to see what example I am creating. They don't want to do something which I am not doing. I've asked them, no, 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 you should sit. Like we have um, kids school, a spiritual school. So a lot of parents drop kids and they don't attend the class. Why? I want my son to be like Lord Ram. Why? You don't want to become like Dasharath? No, I don't have to become like Dasharath. Until I become an example, my kids won't follow me. So we want to build a character. That's what I'm talking about. This verse is also emphasizing on the same point. We have to come to a platform where we imbibe, we understand the qualities which are important, and we try to imbibe those qualities. Like I gave an example about Yudhishthir. He went and offered pranam. What is the quality? Even Dronacharya is fighting on the other side, but what is the culture? I'm training the foe because I'm my zimmedari, my responsibility is to train. That's my role, my teacher. And that's what is happening, right? We will read one more sloka and then we will end today's class. 1.4. Atra sura maheshwasha
Prasura Maheshwasa
bhimarjuna samayudhi
Bhimarjuna Samayuddhi
yuyuddhano viratascha
Yudhano Viratasya
drupadascha maharatha.
Drupadasya Mahasaha.
Translation please.
I will read. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
Today is the world of selfie. Today is the world of selfie. What does selfie mean? You meet a great personality, you want to take a picture. Who goes in front? Is that personality or you go in front? Whoever takes the picture goes in front. What does it represent? This, I am standing with this person, but look at me, I am so great. That selfie culture. And this is what this Duryodhana is teaching: selfie culture. Look at my army, man. You know, sometimes, like I remember, I used to go to parks. It's good, taking a nice, fresh air. I'll see a lot of old people, and they would sit. Very interesting thing they will do. Everyone will talk about how great they did in the entire life. No offenses, but when you don't have a topic to speak, you will speak anything and everything relevant to you. I want to talk because I have no idea what to talk about Krishna. Like, for an example, say Divyanshu Prabhu is into engineering. If I give you a topic for 1 hour to speak about your topic, you will comfortable. You speak for hours because I'm day and night working on that. And someone asked me, "Hey, can you speak about IT?" And I can speak about it. Now someone says, "Hey, can you? If I don't have a culture, can you speak about Krishna for 1 hour?" I'll tell you, we will shy away. We would have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then we'll be out of words. Why? I'm not telling about you. Please forgive me about that. I just took and then I realized, let me take. I'm not on. So why? Yeah, whole day I'm just thinking about myself. The culture is about myself, my kids, my this, my this, my this, my this, my this. You know, the biggest selfish word in the dictionary is I. Our phone says iPhone, iPad. Everything is I. That's how this world is designed. Until it is tagged to me, useless. If it is tagged to me, look at me, how much I did. I taught my kids, look at them, I give them such a nice culture. Even on the name of religious, look at me, how wonderful class I gave. Disgusting. Even if on name of spirituality I'm tagging myself, look at me what I'm doing. And it happens, you see in YouTube, you see about great religious leaders, very great position, they have done so much. They start in front of 100 people, million people, and talk about themselves. Why? This is what you learned. This is called as I problem. This is called as me problem. Everything is tagged with me. Unless unless we realize after studying Bhagavad Gita, I have to remove I from my life. I am insignificant. If I have to say I have to say I'm insignificant. I want to confess this. My wife, this is my personal story, so please forgive me about that for quoting. She suffered for many years. She finally had lung transplant, and both lungs have to be. India was shying away to even deal her case. So somehow by Krishna's grace, we were here. The doctor said, out of 1 million people, and I still remember that guy's statement very strongly. One pair of lungs will match for her. Now, if you hear that line, मुझे बताओ किसको confidence आएगा कि she will survive? No one, right? First pair of lungs, a donor came, well, perfect match for her. First pair of lungs. Somewhere very far away in United States, they got it in an aeroplane, in the helicopter, private helicopter, they brought in. She got lung transplant. Within first month, she was on the altar worshipping the Lord, where she was not able to breathe before. She was on her deathbed. And after few years, 3 years, she had lung infection. And that's, if you have a lung infection, you're gone. It's like you have to again go for lung transplant. So she couldn't survive through. And I was just seeing in front of my eyes leaving this world. I realized I'm insignificant. Did my money help? No. Did my knowledge help? No. What helped her at that time? Her video is actually online on YouTube. You are welcome to watch how she left this world. Offering obeisance, she was on ventilator for days, months. And she came, doctor said, she's like a vegetable. You decide what do you want to do. Either you let her go, or her lungs will burst because based on the pressure. So you decide. And I still remember that day very, very clearly. And I'm like, I came in the room. Call the devotees here. More than 200 devotees are chanting around her in the hospital room. This is during COVID, by the way. And then she came out of her consciousness when, because it's they give you so many high sedatives. She came, you can't even come back to consciousness. She offered her pranam to everyone. She has no power because didn't eat anything for months, drink anything for months, and she left this world. I realized from her example, she's my guru because she brought me to Krishna consciousness. She taught me one example. We are insignificant. Whatever I have earned, whatever I have, nothing will be useful to me. The only thing which comes to with us is the holy name. That's why when someone is taken on the street in India, there is no concept of that here. किसका अर्थी लेके जाता ना, there is one line they say, राम नाम संग है. Very interesting point is, what are they saying? What is going to come with you? Ram Nam. The name of the Lord is going to come with you, nothing else. Same people who are doing it, taking it, they themselves forget. Are I have to do this. Man, he also died. When Yudhishthir Maharaj, you know the story, but I just want to spell this, and with that we end. We are 4:58. I like to end on time. Yudhishthir Maharaj and Pandavas all went to the forest, and then Yudhishthir Maharaj was thirsty. So he asked, first Sahadev, go and get some water for me. So he goes and sees a pond. And then when he's about to take the water from the pond, someone speaks from the pond. You cannot take this water. Who are you? I am Yaksha. You cannot take this water from me unless you answer my question. Sahadev said, I don't know what is that. He took the water, died. Nakula went. Bhima went. Arjuna went. All of them died. Yudhishthir said, Are kidhar chale gaye? I asked them to get the water. All four are gone. Let me see. Yudhishthir goes there and he sees all his four son brothers are dead here. And he hears this voice from this. Say, who are you? I'm Yaksha. I have questions for you. Until you answer my question, you cannot do anything. So I don't remember all the question. Next time I'll bring it for sure. One question I remember. What is the most interesting thing in this world? That's a question Yakshas asked. You know what is Yudhishthir's answer? Everyone sees this guy is dead, that guy is dead, this person is dead, my neighbor is dead, this is dead. And that's how it happened in COVID. We all know. Arey, ye bhi gaya, wo bhi gaya, ye bhi gaya, wo bhi gaya. But everyone thinks, I am not going to die. This is the most interesting thing in my perception. I'll tell you, Prabhus and Mataji, this what you are spending 1 hour. This is like as equivalent to 1 million in your spiritual account. One time, I'll share this joke. So one time, a husband was about to die, and he said to his wife, he's a millionaire. He said, "When I die, when you cremate me, you put $1 million check. I'll encash there." So whatever. This guy passed, and then everyone asked, you know what? This wife, I said, yeah, I gave him a blank check. You go and issue it there. So we think, this is going to come with me. But this $1 million, you will encash in any life. You don't know any of you in your previous life. I beg you, if you go to the astrologer, you ask him, your previous life, you were a spiritualist. That's why you're here studying Bhagavad Gita. When 100 people were called that day, not even taking phone or not responding, unfortunate. I'm not criticizing them, but I'm just trying to bring in a point. You all are here, you missed it. That does not mean bad, but you have a culture which you are bringing from your previous life. That's why you're able to attend Bhagavad Gita and remember what you remember last week. This is coming from your previous life. Some people you see, when they perform certain act, you see, how did he get that skill? My son is 14-year-old, 12-year-old. He plays mridanga as like a professional guy. And I'm surprised. I'm not saying because he's my son. Where is he getting from previous life? I have no contribution here. He's getting from his previous life because he missed it. I made a mistake. I went one time to astrologer. It's in Pune only, bro. It's in near Nigadi area. So these guys will, my wife was struggling for years. Nothing is working. No Ayurveda, no allopathy, nothing is working. So I went in. कुछ तो पता चले गया. Went in. These guys are such brilliant guys. They take your thumbprint and put it. They have no idea about who you are. They will tell you everything. And I was just mesmerized. Everything. And I didn't tell him because sorry, I'm intelligence is sometimes a problem. I have that intelligence. मेरे को विश्वास नहीं है. How is this guy knowing? I want to find. I will not disclose him anything. Told me everything. To my surprise, this is the most intuitive thought or whatever you call it is. Previous life, you both were husband and wife. My wife and whose husband, who wife, I don't know about that. I'm not covering that aspect. This is the mistake you did as a spiritualist. I was a spiritualist before. I made a mistake. I'm here. I don't want to miss it this time again. I don't want to get into the cycle of birth and death. One lady who actually delivered just 2 weeks back, 3 weeks. The delivery is everything was completely going as per the plan. Just last 5 minutes before the baby is coming out, her oxygen level dropped drastically. Doctors are tension, parents are in tension, and she was on ventilator for a period of time for oxygen and all that stuff. Birth is miserable, death is even more miserable. Let's understand that. Spend our life to get out of the cycle of birth and death in this lifetime. I don't want to come back again. Let's make a vow. Let's make a decision. I don't want to come again here. Again doing the same. A for apple, B for bat. We did it for many lifetimes. Don't think that we did it only this lifetime. We did it in many lifetimes. This session is for those things. अरे बस हो गया बहुत. खत्म करो अभी. Finish the cycle of birth and death. Don't want to get into A body, B body, C body. We have crossed over 84 lakh species. Why? Because of missing the concept of connecting to God. And that's why we are here. And that's why we are here discussing that. We are a family. We are here to help each other to go to Krishna. I don't want to come back here and do all this nonsense managing 9 to 5 job. Tomorrow is Monday. Are वापस जाना है. I have to drive to work, handle this. I don't want this, but it comes. I have to do it. Nobody likes Monday, but I have to do it. Why? Because I'm forced to do it. Can I live here? No, I need a health insurance. I need a pension. I need so many things. I have to work hard. Boss, I don't like him, but he gives me a lot of purity, but I have to go through it, man. There is a way to get out of it. So it's 5:05. Please forgive me. I
No,
went
that's
5 minutes
fine. No,
over
no,
time.
good, good, good. Thank
So
you.
with that, any questions or final comments?
Yeah, I have one comment. You
Please.
were talking about people in the next life,
Hmm.
whatever they did in previous life, they
Hmm.
continue to do in the
Hmm.
next life,
Hmm.
right? I heard practical examples where World War One, two,
Yeah.
when someone passes away,
Yes.
and they're like only 5 years. It's all
Yes.
proven.
Yes.
And
It's there on
the boy,
YouTube also.
correct, the boy comes and sees all the equipment and he calls everyone, all the old people who are like 70, 80s by name, everyone. So he's connecting and talking.
And not only that, he also tells them how to fly this plane.
Yeah, yeah.
5-year kid.
5 years.
Previous life. But now one may say, अरे उसको याद है मेरे को क्यों नहीं याद है? Now only few people have that this thing, because otherwise, so how it works, please forgive me about interrupting here. So Jabi, when we leave this body, so there are two bodies we have. Actually three, but let's stick to two. External body, which is male, female, whatever we gross body, this name and all that stuff. There is a subtle body with us, which is mind, intelligence, and ego. Can you see your mind? No. Can you see your intelligence? No. Can you see your ego? No. This is subtle body. So when a person dies, his subtle body is taken. Gross body तो जल जाता है, right? Earth, water, fire, air and ether, वो जलता है, वहीं से आता है, वहीं खत्म होता है, right? Subtle body is taken out. Soul with the soul and subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, all travel together. Now let's say there are two factors which are counted here, and we will read in Bhagavad Gita. One is law of last thought. ठीक है? And I'll come to that. Second is my karma. So I remembered my wife at death. My karma says I can't get a human body. You got my point, right? So I'm a male because I'm attached to my wife, which is a female. I'll become a female dog. Am I making sense so far? I remembered a female, right? But my karma doesn't allow me to actually get the human body. And my karma gives me, boss, तुमको तो कुत्ते का body मिलेगा. So I become a female dog. So what I remember at the last minute and based on the activities I perform decides my next destination. But a very great thing for you guys. Anyone who even starts a spiritual life but leaves in between still gets the credit in next life. As a human, you take a birth as a human, guarantee. If I remember Krishna at last minute, I'm out of cycle of birth and death. No